All right, everybody. Welcome to the, 920 panel. Dealing with producers, directors, writers, Connecticut-based production companies, and all. I am your humble moderator. My name is Brian Ellsworth, and I'll have my humble panelists introduce themselves, starting with the lovely lady to my right.
Good evening. My name is Dale Foti. I'm the associate producer and production manager for Tower Isle Productions, and I'm here to represent our very first motion feature film called A Dance for Grace, which is also, we have someone in the audience who was in the movie, Gail Bugeha. And it's the very first dance drama featuring reggae dance hall. So we filmed all throughout Connecticut, but the movie actually takes place in a small town in Georgia. But we filmed through Connecticut and New York, and also we filmed a good portion of it in Jamaica so that our dancers could learn actual dance hall. So we had a bunch of white kids learning dance hall, and they succeeded, and the film's a great movie, has a great story behind it, so hope everybody goes to see it.
I'm Reno Venturi from, I own the Actors Gym and Talent. We're a casting company and we teach actors, but I'm here representing Tri-Pig Studios. I'm the Vice President of Talent and Promotion. So I'm here to talk a little bit about our production facility and what we have to offer. And we have 20,000 square feet and 3 studios, and all ready for you guys.
My name is Garry Fierro. I am the founder of Roadwork Pictures, and we are based out of Central Connecticut, Berlin, Connecticut.
I'm Aaron Vnuk, and I'm the president of Legion Films. We've been in operation for 10 years now, and we specialize in horror films. And that's we pretty much are based in Connecticut as well, just like everyone else here. And we have a lot of Legion members here today, so it's been great to see everybody. Thank you.
My name is Matthew Giovannucci. I'm a producer-writer with Roadwork Pictures. We've been together for about a year and a half, and I'm working on we're representing 4 projects tonight. The first is Ditch. It's a ultra-low budget comedy that we shot about a year ago. Rising Star, which is a picture we're shooting in Hartford, October 3rd through the 22nd. We're using all Connecticut Film Industry Training Program people, all Connecticut actors. It's all Connecticut funded. We're also working on a couple short films. First is Firefly Jar, which deals with a child's imagination. And we're also shooting another short comedy this December called FreezerBang.com.
Okay. I thought I would start the panel by asking a general question among you all. Basically, what made you, as I said, being filmmakers and being passionate about your craft, what made you start out your respective companies, your chief motivations, and basically, what made you want to do it, in Connecticut, let's say as a point of fact. Starting with you, Dale.
Well, I was asked to be on this movie because I'm an executive assistant at Pitney Bowes, so I have some experience doing that, but I also took 30 years of dance and graduated from modeling school, John Casablancas, and took acting. So I was asked by the producer if I wanted to help out behind the scenes, and also I have a small acting role in the film. So they decided to film throughout Connecticut because the screenwriter and producer, although they were Jamaican born, they also lived in Connecticut, and they found that there were some beautiful parts of Connecticut that could pass off for this small town in Georgia.
Well, I actually new at this. I've been doing it for 49 years. I started this as a child actor with Paramount Studios and was a day player, as it were, back in those days. And this is pretty much all I know. It's all I've ever done. People said, hey, have you ever done anything else? Well, I was in retail for about 3 days once. Yeah, that didn't go well. Point is, I'm from California, and I was directing shows in New York, and I was directing films in New York, working for Showtime and Cinemax and doing little films for them. And I decided I wanted to teach acting, so I moved here to teach for Yale. They wanted me to teach full-time, and I said, nah, that doesn't work for me. Plus, they wanted us to do stuff that wasn't really in the real world, helping actors audition. And I'm pretty much an actor's advocate. I joined up with Tripeg Studios and realized, wow, they've got an amazing studio here. We've got everything that you could possibly want. Started my own company, started teaching acting, started representing actors, and here I am in Connecticut from California, still trying to figure it all out.
All right, I've lived in Connecticut my entire life, so I started getting interested in film throughout middle school when I had to do projects for tech ed, and from there I went to Middlesex Community College in Middletown, and I took the broadcasting degree. And from there we did projects similar to short film projects, just like I did in middle school and high school. And then from there I just started making short films. My first short film is based off of an H.P. Lovecraft short story. It's called Pickman's Model. And that actually won several awards. And that basically pushed me into wanting to keep making more and more movies and basically trying to outdo myself every time. And from there, I just finished a feature film called Ditch, and that is currently finishing up, and I am in talks with a possible distributor in LA who might want to buy it off of me. And that's where I am now.
Well, for us, the core members of Legion Films, we actually started all out as screenwriters, and we realized that the difficulty of getting a script sold, so we decided to make the movies ourselves, and we decided to learn actually everything ourselves as well. So we started in 2000, and we didn't make our first good short film, I would say, till 2005, so it took us a good 5 years to figure out how to do this well. And then we started rattling off a number of short films that were picked up by Comcast for distribution, which was exciting for us, but we wanted to get into feature films, which we've done, and we just finished our third film, which is Demon of La Tehran. Again, of course, another horror. And but we do it all ourselves. We make the movies ourselves. We actually distribute ourselves. Over 10 years, we built a pretty extensive fan base. So at this point, we don't even have to shop our movies around, which has been nice. But for me, one thing interesting me about is I'm actually legally blind. So if you've seen the movies we make, it's probably a good thing. But yeah, so it helps me out. But so that's pretty much we started screenwriters and did it all ourselves, 10 years running, and we're going strong still.
Let's put it this way. I decided to become a producer because the best way to get work is to create your own work. I tried finding jobs at A&E, WWE, ESPN, which is 2 miles from my house, and it's really hard. And so I decided to, hey, screw it, I'll make my own films, and that's how I started.
Hey, Aaron, I got a question for you. You mentioned Demon of, how do you say it?
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
How do you say it?
Yep.
Demon of
La Tehran. That's our third feature film. We the first was Mind Morgue, second was Severed In, and now Demon of La Tehran.
Yeah. So basically, are you horror specialists, or are you going into horror genre because you know it's always marketable?
Pretty much, yeah, it's a good question. And we actually our short films had nothing to do with horror at all. So they got us the attention that we were looking for, and then once we realized that we were going to take everything into self-distribution, the horror market is just we're in a completely different world than anything else in the film industry. So with the way we would market our movies is there's the infrastructure is already built in the horror genre, so it worked out well because not only do we love it, we have a passion for the horror movies, but it's also the infrastructure was there, so we were able to get in there, and that's where we are now.
Okay. Reno, next question is for you. How would you evaluate the Connecticut talent market up till now? I mean, and what is it you try to instill in them the most?
It's kind of amazing. I'm always amazed at how much talent is here and how many people just don't really realize how to get connected and how to be out there. So that's why I became an actor's advocate. The talent pool here is tremendous. I'm a casting director. I just cast 3 projects last week, major projects, and I used everybody from Connecticut, local actors. And my best advice is that they don't cast a lot of films from your basement. So pretty much you have to be out there, you have to be seen, you have to come to people like me, you have to not be embarrassed by giving me your headshot. It's okay. I always love when actors walk up to me and go, oh, would it be okay if I gave you my headshot? I'm like, come on, this is what I want. This is good. I have about 3,000 actors at my disposal right now, and I would love to have 3,010 and 4,000 and so on and so forth. So I say get out there and do it, be seen.
Okay, now, Garry, you were the director of Firefly Jar, and I have seen the trailer. It is amazing, so I would recommend see that trailer, anytime you can. You've been described as a very visual filmmaker. How would you care to respond to that?
Well, Firefly, I just recently finished another H.P. Lovecraft short that I did called The Silver Key, and that entire movie runs about 15 minutes, and it's nothing but music. And basically, there's a lot of forums online right now talking about it. Everybody's saying it's one of the best Lovecraft short films that they have seen so far. It just got accepted into the H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival for this year. And that movie, I had to basically take a story and without any dialogue make it very compelling. And through music and emotion, I was able to pull in basic emotions like everyone feels when you watch a dramatic movie. You can sometimes through music and everything you understand what the character is like, and so with the help of that it aided in a very good visual film that I think the storytelling in it tells its own even without dialogue.
And now for you, Matt. I mean, since you've worked with Garry, and you've also, as you said, you did a movie called Ditch. How would you compare your experiences?
Hello. Oh, there we go. Well, Garry is a very talented filmmaker, and as I said before, you have to create your own work. So I started off and I found the most talented people, or some of the most talented people in Connecticut, namely Garry Fierro and Marty Lang are two of them. And Garry is a very talented young filmmaker. He's 23, 24? He's 24, and he's already worked on over a dozen short films. He's done a feature film, and we're about to do another short film, Firefly Jar, which our goal is to get it nominated for an Academy Award.
Give my hand on that one. All right, Dale, now back to you. How would you elaborate on A Dance for Grace? Are you one who strongly feels using performing arts, like a la Fame, to tell your stories, or anything different besides that? Do you think performing arts is your particular genre as a filmmaker?
Yes. Yes, yes, I would do another movie that has nothing to do with performing arts, but if I had to pick one, this for me had been a perfect fit because of my background.
Okay, good. All right. And now, once again, back to general questions. What essential quality do you find creates, say, a compelling story, or in your case, Reno, a compelling talent? What qualities do you personally look for, all of you?
Well, myself, I will say I've had the pleasure of actually working with these two gentlemen to my right, and I've done casting for them. And so I'm always looking for someone that stands out, makes a difference, somebody who also thinks beyond the box and is creative and willing to be out there. I think that's the hardest thing, because a lot of people say they want to be in this industry, but they don't want to do the work. So I look for actors that understand that this is a business and that it's called show business for a reason. So I just want to say that I enjoyed working with the two of them, and I think they're kind of amazing directors.
Okay. And now for the rest of you.
Speaking on an actor standpoint, I really find it compelling when actors, for Ditch, I posted on Mandy.com, I need actors and I can't pay anything, unfortunately. And they are willing to take their time on months on end, even for me 2 to 2.5 years, and take time out of their lives to do a film and complete it and have for no pay. And to me, that's awesome. I mean, that's what I find is compelling.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about what Reno was going over, and we for in the horror genre, we the fans pretty much they like a specific type of actress in particular. So if you see any of our movie covers, you'll get an idea. But we have been really trying to get better quality actors, and when we started doing some bigger casting calls, when we started our feature films for Mind Morgue, we realized that so many of the cast members that were on the movie were part of. They kept telling us that they're part of this actors gym, and Legion Films, we don't get out too much, so we had no idea what this actors gym was. I thought it was a fitness center, and then we hear this guy's name, and we find out about Tripeg Studios. So we've been doing some work down there, and pretty much every feature film that we've worked on since then, we've used many of Reno's actors, and they've been amazing. So we give him all the plugs we can at every premiere screening that we do wherever we go, because it's pretty much the way we see it is our future project. We're just going to ask him, and he can give us the actors. Of course, we still have to find the female models, but he gives us the good quality actors.
I have models.
Then we're all set.
You're a model?
I'm a model if anybody's interested in plus size models.
Okay.
Oh, don't you worry. I'll send you more than that.
Okay. Give us a medium shot at least.
Yeah, medium shot from Ariel. It was expensive. I just want to touch on screenplays real quick. The thing I look for is does the screenplay have heart? Does the screenplay mean something to the writer? And you can see that on the page. And the moment I read Firefly Jar, after Garry wrote it, it was probably one of the most beautiful scripts I'd ever read in my life. I've only read about 50 or 60, but it was wonderful. So that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this thing is still on. All right, let me adjust the question slightly. Okay, you've talked about the essential qualities that you would like a screenplay to have, but then again, you also touched upon the idea of say, a genre governing perhaps what kind of script you're going to have. So let me ask you this. Do you like, for the sake of distribution, for the sake of getting a distribution deal, would you basically let the idea of the genre, what type of film you wish to make, be your deciding factor over the type of story that you personally would like to tell?
I can take this one. Firefly Jar is basically it's a drama film, and it relies heavily on the score. And I searched for about 2 years to find a composer, and I actually found one that was from the Hart School of Music in Hartford. His name is Francesco De Chirico, and he's an awesome composer, and he composed Ditch for me. And I brought him onto this project because what he mainly does is a lot of piano and violin and strings, and the emotion is there. So I basically tailored a movie to his music, and that's where I basically wrote Firefly to his music. And from there, it's obviously a drama, so I'm going to be putting it into festivals that will take drama films, and that you usually see people that win at those festivals are dramas. And so I'm basically going for that genre.
Okay, I think at this point, I've asked enough questions. How about anybody in the audience? Would anybody like to raise their hand and ask the panelists a question or two? Oh, lovely lady over here.
I'm currently accepting donations for the film right now until October, and if I can't fulfill what I want for my budget, then we're going to hit spring. But if I do have my money by then, October, we will be casting in October. There's around 5 to 6 parts in the movie that will have lines, and then everything is just extras.
Do you have SAG actors?
We are trying to bring in at least one well-known actor, so that will be SAG, and Yeah, I'll take on SAG actors, and they will get paid what's required,
I
and
know a lot of us can't do movies if we're in SAG unless you have a contract. That's why I'm asking.
right, exactly. Everything's going to be legit. It's going to be fully contracted. All legalities are going to be set down in stone, and it's going to be fully professional. That's why I'm doing this movie. It has to be professional. Everything that I've done prior, I believe, to me, it wasn't good enough, and I need to keep just making something better, and that's where SAG and everything comes into play. So, yeah.
Okay, how about anybody else out there? Okay. Going once. Oh, over here.
My website? No, my website is called roadworkpictures.com. Roadwork, yes. No, it says road word on here, but don't get mistaken. It's a K, not a D.
Type is a little bit small.
Yeah.
Okay, I got two people from this side. Can I at least get one person from this side? A volunteer, please. There we go.
Demon of Lateran. Yeah, pretty much it's a third feature film, and the story is about demonic possession. So in this project, we've done in the previous projects were more of a dark humor, but this one we are going more for the horror factor. So it's going to be a little bit different from what our fans are used to. So hopefully it will go over pretty well. We still did put some humor in there, but for the most part, we really wanted to focus on the possession of a soul, and that came out well. We shot at a mill house that was built in the 1900s, so it had this real creepy factor to it. So that worked out well, and of course all the other the comedy stuff and the genre stuff we shot at a strip club, so that we'll give them that. But we really try to build it up the horror on this one, so it should be different.
Oh, man in the back.
For the horror, there's so much more that's already there. So you have everything from the micro distributors to the mid level, all the way up to the upper level. So we pretty much just go to any convention. We go to the chiller conventions, we go to other of the larger conventions like the Rue Morgue, and pretty much everything is in place. So it's like once you get into the genre and people recognize you, then that's when the fans start to flock to you. When we first started making the short films, they were more in the drama area, and they just go no. I couldn't figure out what to do with them. So if we made a drama film, I couldn't tell you what we could do with it, because unless there's a bigger actor or if it's very well done, I have no clue. But a horror film, there's so many different ways that you can get that out there, and whether it's a micro distributor such as Brain Damage, who is a very good one, or even going up the ladder, even all the way up to Lionsgate, Maverick, or so forth. So they're all there. They love horror. There's so many horror fans, and it's just they're asking for more and more material all the time. So it's very different from any other genre. And believe me, I've looked into it over 10 years.
Yeah, okay, any more hands out there? Going once.
Can I talk about
There we go.
I have a script being reviewed right now. It's a horror script. This is for Aaron.
This is good.
Are you accepting more scripts to review right now, or you've got a lot on your plate right now?
No, actually, no, we are. So we have, there's another feature film that we're looking at called The Uncoded. That is a possibility, but then there's another series that we're looking at. We want to start something in the wintertime, but if it's horror, we definitely want to take a look at it, because that's what we do. We know what to do with it. Thank you.
Information on the website on how to submit.
Yes, there is. Yep. So it's just legionfilms.com, and the general email is mailbox@legionfilms.com, and our address is right there. So it's just we're not picky at all. So it's just send us anything, and we'll be happy to look at it. There's really not many specific guidelines. We're very, very independent, user friendly.
Go, Matt.
Hello. Hello. How many people here are aware of the Connecticut Film Industry Tax Credit? Everybody? Everybody? I know I'm not at that $100,000 level, but I'd like to be, and I'm regardless, I'm still going to probably make films in this state, but we are in a position where we may lose the tax credits. And these studios, these people, they're going to come to this state and they will create jobs no matter what position you guys are in. And please just do everybody a favor and take a look at whoever's running for governor. Take a look. If they support the tax credits, support them. I am a registered Republican, but I am probably going to vote for Democrat this year. So just look into that. Thank you.
All right, I'd like to direct a question over here to Dale. Dale, for the particular type of film that you have, describe the casting process.
Mainly for this film, because it's our very first film, the difficult part was trying to find dancers that were white and can do dance hall. And so we have 2 girls from Sweden that were so into dance hall and traveled to Jamaica a million times. And 2 of our dancers come from Canada, and 1 from New York, and 1 from Connecticut that was a hip-hop dancer, and we taught him dance hall. But it's a totally different style dance, so that was the hardest part. And casting the lead characters, our lead actor is also the producer and co-director. So he's been acting a very long time. And to me, it's about a presence. When you don't have celebrities that you're using in your brand new film, you want people to go see it. So you need someone with a big presence. And both of our lead actor and actress have a very good presence, and their acting's really good. So to me, that's the most important thing.
Question over here.
I would say it's most comparable to hip hop, and it's mainly in the Caribbean, in Jamaica. It's a totally different type of dance, like you've never seen before, actually. But if you're going to relate it to anything, it would be closest to hip hop.
Okay. Any other questions? Oh, I haven't heard from her yet. Oh, you'll be next.
And you want to do that why? Sadly, I have a lot of people that work for me, and I just brought in Emily Schulman from Small Wonder, and she was Caddy Woodlawn and all that. She's coming to do classes for me, and she became a main top agent. She said the union was dying, so she was having a lot of problem. All of them, especially SAG, yeah. Because they're casting right now, I'm going to say about 80% non-union, and I get a lot more money for people than when I cast the 20% union. So people are always in a hurry, and I get a lot of people that say, oh, well, I got my SAG card. They don't know how to act yet, but they were background for 20 films. And I said, we realized a tree could do that. I mean, it's a great experience to be background once or twice, but don't be in a hurry to get your union card, because a lot of times it gets you in trouble. But it is quite expensive. It can be up to $2,400 to join. So,
hello. Reno, what is the popularity of, say, Financial Core over several years ago?
Well, FICOR is anybody familiar with FICOR, what that is? It means you can be union and you can work a non-union project. However, if you try to call SAG and ask them some information about it, they just love it when you call that. They'll put you on hold and pretty much disconnect you a lot. But I do have some actors that do FICOR, and they do both. It just basically means that when you join FICOR, you cannot vote as a SAG person, and you don't get their newsletter. So it has become very popular just in recent years, and it is official, it is legal, it has been passed. So you can actually become a union actor and work non-union projects if you become FICOR. So, but it's worth looking into. You can get information online, but it's not going to be easy, I'll tell you right now. A very good friend of mine is the president of SAG right now, and so he would hate if he heard me saying this, but it is true. You can join in and yeah, it was my best friend. That was a death threat.
This is called blackmail, Reno.
I'm retired union myself, AEA, AFTRA, and SAG. And if I need to do a project, I have them take my card out of retirement if they want to pay me, and I make them pay to put it back in retirement. So, you know, there's lots of ways around it, but I'm telling you, the majority of jobs out now, I just cast a national commercial, and I just did 2 regional commercials that were all non-union. And the actors, when I hired them, said, "Oh my God, you're going to pay me how much? I would never get that union." I'm like, "Yeah, I know," because a lot of the stuff we're doing is coming in non-union. Everything from industrials all the way to feature film are coming that way.
Okay, opening up more questions. Anyway, well, you're just full of questions tonight, aren't you? Huh? No.
Well, Actors Gym, I initially just started offering classes, but I've been unofficially managing people for a number of years, probably about 20 years, because like I said, I'm an actor's advocate. So right now I'm just offering classes. I'm getting ready to expand into official. I do get breakdowns, I do get all the information, I do send people out. But Connecticut's a tough state, I gotta tell you. In order for me to be bonded by this state, I had to get a $500,000 bond and another $100,000 bond, whereas I never had to do that in any other state. So I'm always interested in people that are talented, that have something to offer. So just contact me through theactorsgym.net, call me direct, however you'd like to do that. But we do a lot of stuff, and because I'm at TriPeg Studios, we do a lot of casting there as well. Okay, and we produce quite a few things at TriPeg. Has anybody ever worked at TriPeg? I mean, we have 3 sound studios, infinity walls, green screens, dressing rooms, editing bays, conference rooms. All the rooms are wired. We have sets. We have special effects, largest pyrotechnics house in New England, all in one spot. And a lot of people don't know it's there. It's kind of the best kept secret. We're located in Hamden, actually. Once in a while, people find out. We had David Beckham there not that long ago, and people decided that they found out where we were. So we do get a lot of people there. Thank you.
I saw another lovely lady raise her hand over here. Go ahead. No. Yeah. All right, then I'll go over here then. Anybody else raising your hands over here? Come on. All right, you again.
She's right there.
I don't think she's dressed for it.
I'm a dancer, but I don't do dance hall. Absolutely. We have a trailer at towerisleproductions.com or adanceforgrace.com. They actually connect. Or if you go to YouTube and you plug in A Dance for Grace, we have a trailer. It's very good. And we also have a music soundtrack. We have our own music featured on there. A lot of it is reggae. So please watch the trailer. It's excellent, I think.
Okay, calling to the audience one more time, okay? More questions. We have a panel here that's so eager to answer them. Come on. Oh, there we go. What is my background? Well, I'm currently a moderator at the Film Industry Mixer. That's about as far back as I go, I think. Oh, so you say, Reno. Well, actually, I am an actor. I have been in SAG for 12 years. I'm also a member of AFTRA. So I can kind of agree a lot with what Reno is saying at the moment. When I first joined, FICOR wasn't even brought up. I mean, I didn't even know it existed. And when I had brought up the subject a few years later with the local chapter in Boston, they nearly bit my head off. They were like, accusing me of being like, like breaking picket lines, or the way they view that. It was like something that they just did not want to talk about, that they wanted buried at any cost. But as far as my own background, I've been an actor. I've been persevering for years. As you can see, I did a project for Sec Film, The Curse of Mike Carood, if anybody had ever seen that project. It was a wonderful period piece that we had shot in Norwich and Groton, which I will humbly say has been sweeping the awards at the film festival circuit for about the last 2 years. But as any actor, I'm always hungry for the next role, always trying to get the next role. And I don't know, I'm hoping maybe somebody on the panel may like to use me for the next role. That's kind of one of the reasons I'm doing this, But, no. Yeah, he does. Reno's a good sport about that. But anyway, that's pretty much who I am, and what's turning the attention back over to you, the lovely audience. So Would you like to elaborate before I have my panelists sum it up? Going once. Going twice. Okay, going 3 times. In which case, I will ask our panelists here, one by one, to offer any thoughts in conclusion, and maybe talk about any upcoming projects and elaborate on anything in general. Starting with you.
We plan on doing upcoming projects, but we don't have it. We are trying to finish up this one. The movie's been completed. We are actually in negotiations currently with the Caribbean for Caribbean distribution, and we're seeking distribution in the U.S. as well. And this movie is a dance movie, which there are so many out there, but it's very different than all the others. In fact, we had a screening in New Milford, Connecticut recently, and we passed out questionnaires, and the audience was very welcoming and receptive to the movie, and they clapped a lot. And the answers were all very favorable, I have to say, on a whole. And everyone checked off that it was original. And I was expecting someone to say it's just another dance movie, but it really is not. So come out and see our movie when it's in the theaters, please.
I can't wait.
It's called A Dance for Grace. And if you go to Tower Isle, that's ISLE Productions.com, or adanceforgrace.com, you can find both websites. They connect. So.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Is it for anybody? May have an answer?
Challenge. Well, I can. Yeah. It's the. I'm just gonna go without the mic. All right. I don't rely on technology. I'm a theater-trained actor. I can reach thousands. So I'm going to let you know right now, at Sect Films, as I said, one of our chief goals is to indoctrinate people into the art of filmmaking at any level. You want to be a producer, you want to be a director, you want to be an editor, whatever. We offer seminars, we offer ground floor training on all these levels. And for those people who want to be actors as well, we have a huge database by which we encourage actors to go out there. We say right now, you want to make a film? Work on these films. Work on the short film. Build yourself up from there. Start the technique of acting on film, because it is sure different than acting on the stage. So, my biggest challenge building my business as an actor has basically been, just trying to secure the roles, but as I said, being union most often has proven to be a handicap. I have been offered roles, well-paying roles, and I've had to turn them down because, I didn't want to break the union rule 1, as they call it. General rule 1, don't work without a contract. And I have been very loyal. But at the same time, it has been costing me roles. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm loyal. I've been steadfast, because when I was a non-union actor, it can, it's a double-edged sword. You can work a lot, but sometimes the conditions aren't always agreeable. So what I would say right now is, for any actor, just get that next role, whatever it may be. No experience is wasted in any aspect of the business. That's all I'll say. Okay, so moving on.
My biggest challenge filming throughout Connecticut was when I got a very long list from the screenwriter to find locations that resembled a rural town in Georgia. And without any money, because this is our very first movie, I had to put on some charm and go all over Connecticut and ask people if they knew of where I could find a dated Maine drag and a really good country bar, and we would have to ask them if we could shoot on their locations for no charge. And we actually had a couple of our actors that live in New York seeking some of the locations in the meantime, and they wanted an awful lot of money in New York. So it actually turned out really well, because I found every single location in Connecticut, and they didn't charge us. We even had a Main Street in Torrington closed down. We just had to pay the cops to be on either side of the street. But that was, to me, that was the biggest challenge. But it worked out really well in the end, and I have to say it was great filming throughout Connecticut.
Okay, I'd like to sum up our filmmakers over here. Okay, would you like to say anything in conclusion?
Well, going back to difficulty as well, it's finding money as well. That's everybody's, like usual, like filmmakers' biggest difficulty is raising the money. And for Firefly Jar, we have partnered with our sponsor out in LA. They're called From the Heart Productions, and we just got fiscal sponsorship. And what that means is every donation that comes into our film is a tax write-off because it makes us a non-profit organization. And I actually switched from doing a Kickstarter campaign to doing the fiscal sponsorship only because it gives back more to the people. And yeah.
For us, the pretty much we the hardest part for Legion Films was when we trying to go deal with the business aspect of the filmmaking industry. You know, we really enjoyed making the movies and producing them, but it wasn't until we focused on the business part that we got to the level where we are now. So it's the business part's a pain. You know, that's where all the all the financial aspects come into play, and it's normally not what filmmakers do. You know, it's usually not how we think. So we because we had to backtrack and actually think like business people, because we made our short films, and it took a while, it took a lot of passion, a lot of we loved them, other people loved them, but then it's we're still broke, no money. So it wasn't until we said, all right, if we want to hit this certain number of sales per month, we want to do this many international, this many domestic. Now, how do we get there? And how do we make ourselves different? Because as you know, there's so many people making movies, and our movies aren't better than anybody else's. It's just a matter of what you do unique, and how you can connect with your fans. And that part sucks. That's the pain in the butt to do. So that takes a long time, takes a lot of, that's an everyday process that we go through at Legion Films. So every day we're trying to figure out how we're going to hit those sales per month. We take it per month. And so it's all business. And that's the part that's hard. So, and that's why they stick me mostly with that part. Everyone else gets to make the movies, but I can't see, so I do the business. But so pretty much, but that's the hardest part, and I think any filmmaker will tell you the same thing. Just raising the money, dealing with the taxes, dealing with all the accounting, everything that goes into that. But that's the only way that I can see that you're able to, if you want to have any kind of money at all, that's the only way I've seen you can do it.
Hello. Hey, I want to reiterate what Gary said for the fundraising. There's 3 other things you guys can do to raise funds to shoot your features or shorts. There's Kickstarter.com, which he mentioned, where people give you money in exchange for a DVD or a CD or a special thanks in the credits. And you can people have raised up to $50,000 to shoot a feature doing this, but you really, really have to be badass and go out there and be gung-ho about it. There's also another fiscal sponsorship site, just like the one Gary mentioned, called IFP, Independent Feature Project, ifp.org. You can go on there and you can sign up to be a nonprofit umbrella, and you can get tax-deductible donations. The biggest part about the tax-deductible donations is that you can get grants, and grants are huge. Go out, become a nonprofit, and just buy a grant writing book, and you can get $20,000, $30,000 to shoot a feature if you just got to be good at it. I think that's. We also have. We're shooting another film in October 3rd through the 22nd, called Rising Star. We're using all film industry training program people, all local Connecticut actors, and it's going to be great. And we hope to get it into Sundance in Toronto in 2012.
I just want to say the hardest thing for me coming from California was establishing a reputation here. Luckily, I'm connected really well in New York, so teaching acting, being a coach, those kinds of things was great. So luckily, when it came to casting, I already had a reputation, so that was awesome. As far as the studio that I'm also here representing, I think a lot of people don't know we exist. Even though we have a great reputation, we've shot huge projects, little projects, and so on. And so what we've done as a studio is we have now offering indie filmmaker packages, whereas a lot of times studio space isn't affordable, infinity screens, green screens, those kinds of things, plus we have full production facility there where you can build anything you want. So now we're offering special rates. So that was really hard for us. Last but not least, making sure that the film credit stayed intact. And with Sect Film and Tripeg Studios, we produced actually a video that is on YouTube if you check it out to save the tax credit. And apparently the right people saw it because it did buy us a bunch of time. So I think that those are basic challenges. It always boils down to money and knowing that these things are available to you. But those things are available to you. You just have to look, okay?
Before I conclude the panel, I just want the panelists to do one last thing. I want them to repeat the websites where people can find out more information about their films or businesses. So we'll start with you, Dale.
Okay, it's TowerIsleProductions.com. That's TOWER, Isle, ISLE, or adanceforgrace.com. And if anybody wants, I can give you a business card afterwards, so if you don't have any place to write it down.
I want one. Okay. And I'm the actorsgym.net, which is classes, representation, and casting, and production support. I'm also tripegstudios.com. So if you check that out, you'll see that we have a lot to offer.
My website is roadworkpictures.com, and you can see 4 of our projects that are going on now, including Firefly Jar and a documentary on the Korean War. And also the YouTube, you can search, or Vimeo, you can search The Silver Key, and the entire short film is up there for you guys to watch. As well as the donation page for Firefly. You can go onto that page, and you can see it says donate here, and you can check that out. It'll bring you over to the From the Heart Productions page. So.
You can find more about Legion Films at www.legionfilms.com, and we also have a pretty active YouTube channel, and we post pretty much video up there about every week, and it's all about promoting Demon of Lateran. So if you're interested in checking out that movie, YouTube is good. We also have our new company trailer up on our website, as well as our new logo, so you can check out those things as well. And that's pretty much it. LegionFilms.com and our YouTube channel will get you everything. And we're going to be making another project in the winter. Just not sure what it's going to be yet, but definitely horror. I know that much. And so we're going to be looking for help on that one.
You can go to our website at roadworkpictures.com, ROADWORK, pictures.com, or you can go to check out Rising Star at risingstarmovie.com, risingstarmovie.com.
All right. So anyway, I think they were a great panel. I'm certainly going to applaud, though. How about you? Come on. Okay, so thus concludeth the panel, and if you have any other questions you'd like to ask them, well, feel free to do so, okay? Thank you, and have a wonderful evening.